So deep in the feelings, no say you really like me. Can't control my anxiety. Feeling like I'm touching the ceiling. When I'm with you, I can't breathe. Boy, you do something to me. Ooh, I'll never get over you until I find something new that get me high like you do. Yeah. Ooh, I'll never get over you until I find something new that get me high like you do. Listen to my heart.
She say, do you love me? Love me. Love me. She say, do you love me? Love me. Love me. Love me. She say, do you? She say, do you love me? Love me. Love me. She say, do you love me? Love me. Love me. Love me. She say, do you love me? And 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 she say, do you love?
Jay Anthony Cruz, everyone. Can you give it up for Jay?
She say, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom.
Wow, wow. Welcome, everyone. It is Soul Food Sunday. How's everyone doing?
Doing wonderful. Glad to be alive.
Well, listen, I want all of you to introduce yourselves. And Sandra, would you take the lead here? Introduce yourself, toss it over to Jay Anthony Cruz, and we'll hear from Carlton and Cedrick.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday, Soul Food Sunday, that is. My name is Sandra Yvonne, and I am Candy's Gale, if you didn't know. And I am also with Two or More Travel Company. We are glad to be here today. We have an amazing show, and I will toss it over to Jay Anthony Cruz.
Hello, everyone. This is Jay Anthony Cruz, producer, DJ, composer, art director, all the above, based in here in Orlando, Florida. I'm so excited to be here. I'm glad you're here. It is sunny Florida, but it's raining outside, but that's okay. We're going to have a good time right here, right where we are. And I'm going to pass it on to Ned.
Hello, everybody. My name is Cedrick Cooper. I am an actor and creator from Atlanta, Georgia. That is where I currently reside. And I am thankful to be on this show.
Hey, everyone. My name is Carlton Heard. I'm a filmmaker, a writer, director, producer. I'm also based out in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Candy, are you back with us right now?
I am with you, even if it's for a short while. If I freeze, let me know. But I just want to say thank you to Carlton and Cedrick for being with us on Soul Food Sunday. This is a faith-focused lifestyle show. So we want to bring music, entertainment, travel, good food for your soul and food for your stomach on a Sunday night. So let's, everyone, if you could put some claps together in the chat, clap it up for our guests tonight, Carlton Heard and Cedrick Cooper in the house.
Thank you.
I would love for all of you, as long as I'm not frozen here, and while I'm still here on camera, please hit the share button now. So I'm gonna ask you guys here with me to also go ahead and hit share, do a watch party. But if you're watching us, tell us where you're tuning in from. We want to know where you're watching from. And hit the share button. Hit the share button. I love this. Daryl says, soul food. Yes. Thank you for the claps, Brittany. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. So we're going to get into an amazing discussion. We want you guys to hit the share button. Sandra, how do I sound? Am I still with you?
You're with us, honey. You're with us.
Awesome. Well, we are going to also have the trailer to this movie. It is called The Black Hole. It is by filmmaker Carlton Heard. He is brilliant, as well as his star of the movie, Cedrick Cooper. You guys have just done I've been sharing it as much as I can. And so I want to get started if I can. I'll get started with Sandra. I'll kick it over to you. We have some questions because we want to know more about this film.
Absolutely. Oh, are we watching the trailer right now?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Awesome. You know, Cedrick and Carlton, you know, as I watched the film, Candy first shared it even before she had you on the show. And I'm a mother. I come from a Black man. I have, you know, my Black brothers. I gave birth to a Black young man. And I wasn't sure where the film was going until I finally, you know, midway point, I thought to myself, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord. And as I shared with you earlier, I brought my, you know, box of tissues because it really, really resonated with me. And I pray to God that it does with everyone who, you know, who reaches that film. And in reality, when we think about everything that's happening on around us, I don't think that we realize the gravity, the magnitude, you know, the severity in our community. And, you know, not until Black Lives Matter, not all lives matter. We really need to, you know, take a look at what's taken place. As children of the Most High, we know that He left the 99 to go get that one. And I am praying, trusting, and believing that the more and more that we see things like this, you know, in the media, and even for individuals like yourselves, you know, that you have that freedom to actually speak out, that we have that freedom not only to speak out, but also to unite. I pray that as, you know, someone that sees that will be touched, and, you know, bring an opportunity for open discussion, open, you know, freedom, the freedom to discuss. I shared it with some non-melanated friends of mine, and they were like, wow, I didn't know there were so many people. Honestly, I didn't either. I'm not sure if Candy's able to kick the trailer, but if not, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. You know, as a creator for you, Carlton, as a producer, I'm a worshiper. I love to sing. And there's times that I just make up my own songs as I go along. And I may be thinking about one thing, but then I end up, you know, with something, a completely different message. So the question to you is, you know, how does that message, you know, usually change as you go along? Was the original message the same thing that you intended in the end? Or I'm getting some feedback, Candy.
A completely different message. So the question to you is, you know,
So I'm not certain. Basically, is when you were actually intending to put this film together, that the end result was the original, you know, message that you intended to share from the beginning, or how did that, you know, creative process change along the way?
Yes. In the beginning, the whole message, the whole entirety of the whole concept was the same. But as I went through creating and starting the editing process, a lot of things changed. As far as the research that I was doing, it also made me open my eyes as well, because I didn't know a lot of these things. And so I'm going through tons of research of Black history, of everything, all the faces, all the names. And the thing about it, during that whole month and a half, 2 months, during the time of creating the film, more and more people was continue to die. So I had to go back and add them as well inside the film. So during that whole creative process, those were the biggest changes. It's sad to say, but more of us continue to die. So I had to actually add more stuff of all the crazy incidents that's been going on right now.
That's amazing. You know, and to your point, when I saw those names in the list at the end, I mean, I was already the clip, you know, where Cedrick, where you got shot down. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but I was like, no, not you. You can't go down. But I imagine, you know, my son, he's innocently, you know, goes out on jogs and, you know, does whatever he does. And, you know, and I'm always trying to tell him ever since he was a young man to be mindful of these things and not to instill fear, but rather awareness.
Yeah.
That not everyone is going to, you know, be cool with you. Not everyone's going to accept you because of the color of your skin.
Yeah.
You know, I remember being at a friend's house years ago when I think I was 12 or 13 years old, and she couldn't understand why she couldn't go, you know, why we couldn't go to a certain event. And her dad told her, "You ain't got the right complexion for the connection." And that just stuck to me. Here I am in my 40s, and I will never, ever forget that. That even though it was innocent to us and it was no big deal, he was like, no, you're not going to that because you're too young and not everyone's going to receive you. But we didn't even know why. We didn't even know why. So as I saw those list of names, it was definitely impactful to me. So I was, wondering, what did that do to you? I mean, we know the mainstream names that we've seen in the past 2-3 years. I lived in Sanford, Florida myself. So I lived right down the street where, Trayvon Martin was shut down. So it's funny because when you tell people, oh, where do you live? Sanford. Oh, that's where Trayvon Martin. And I'm like, that is sad that nobody knows Sanford is on the map except for that, travesty. So when I saw that list of names and faces, I mean, it hurt me to the core. It hurt me to the core, and it just made me think of so many different things. So I was wondering, what was that, for you as well? That when you learned more and more and more individuals, present and in the past as well.
It ultimately hurt me too. That's the whole reason of creating the film. It started when Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, all those incidents started happening, which created the whole idea of, I was continuing to see it every day, and it kind of prompted the whole concept of him reliving the same day, seeing different people die every single day. But while creating the film and adding so many names, it was while editing the film, I'm crying too. As a filmmaker, if you don't pour if you don't pour your emotion, if you're not, crying with it, how can you expect someone to actually feel the film like it should be?
Right.
As a creator, filmmaker, also, we oftentimes bring our feelings and our desires and just our pain to our work. So that was me really coming from a painful process or a painful feeling and physically putting it on the screen. And I also had a couple police brutality incidents, so I could really feel that whole thing of constant police brutality, and it angered me so much that I felt like I needed to just put something out so people can feel how we ultimately feel as a Black people.
Masterpiece. It was definitely a masterpiece. Cedrick, what was your experience in actually acting this out? I mean, you put your heart into it.
Yeah, it was a process. When it comes to acting is not just something you do. It's a state of mind. And you have to be in the state of mind to really understand the story of what you are portraying. And it was a little difficult. It was definitely difficult because through that entire time you are acting and you're on set and Carlton is communicating me these visions, these messages, all of this is going through my head as I am portraying these lines. And it's just like, it's like the spirits are like coming through me to kind of really be able to give a real authentic emotion, because it's the truth, I understand it when it's a story that may not have a true outcome, but when it's something so true, when it's something that is happening every single day, it's not that difficult to get into to character when you see it every single day. The media is doing an amazing job of reminding of what it is that Carlton is allowing me to be a part of. And when we came together, it was something that we were extremely, extremely passionate about. We were staying up to 4 o'clock in the morning, sure that we were getting the right shots. We were moving furniture. We were doing so many different things behind the scenes that people don't know, but it was because of the message. It was because of what God was giving us the ability to do. And as a creator, it allows us to really be able, that is our protest in a way, Like, we don't necessarily have to like break stuff or burn things, which in my personal opinion may not be wrong, because most people don't necessarily know the correct way to vent. So with that being the case, it was our way of really showing our protest as to where we stand. And so anyone that watches that film can't sit up here and say they don't feel that, and that is not true. But it was a very difficult process going through mentally every single day, having to come back, because Carlton did a very good job of giving me resources that I needed to consistently study on a day-to-day basis. So while we're not shooting, I'm reading, I'm watching videos, I'm doing so much research, and it's ripping my heart out of my chest. Like, I'm crying. You know, I could cry right now talking about it, but it's just like, you know, when you see it, like, it speaks for itself. It was very difficult.
Right. You did a beautiful job, you know, you did a beautiful job basically putting your soul into it. We felt it.
Yeah.
And to your point, this is not a Disney movie. It's not a Disney movie. It's an everyday, it's not a, you know, happily ever after type thing. It's this is the current state of affairs in our country, and not just in our country, but also around the globe, you know, where people of color, you know, are being treated with injustices. I know that Jay Anthony also had a couple of questions and some things to consider as the Black man, and I definitely want to give him the opportunity to share.
Yeah, definitely. First of all, definitely phenomenal job. Carlton, I have a question for you. As you're adding names to the edit and going back, and as you're shooting, as you're acting, as you're moving furniture, going through all that you went through to make it, who are you seeing on the other side of the screen when this is done? And what action do you think that person needs to take in their lives?
Okay, so as far as the Black audience, I was hoping to really educate us on our history, as you've seen in the film, on past incidents that's been happening, and also all the lives that's been taken by police brutality, and really showing the Black community things that we can actually do to get out the Black hole. By voting, supporting Black businesses, supporting Black colleges. There's tons of things that you can do to help us as a Black people as a whole. As far as the audience who, the non-Black audience, was really just to get an inside view of how Black people are treated in America, how we view things, the trauma that we have, and really just give them a outlook of really the true pain that we're feeling every single day. And we're scared to go outside. We're scared for our little cousins or our little nieces. We're just scared for our lives. So that's what made the whole film more of a thriller horror, because it's scary to be Black in America right now.
Yeah. It gives them just to piggyback off what Carlton is saying, it gives you a look into our world, you know, and it's not. And the one thing I love how Carlton did is he did not tailor it to make it seem like anyone is the particular cause of it. It's just something that brings so much awareness to the point where if you are not Black, you are educated as to what it's like to be Black in America. And when people ask, oh, like, what do you mean racism? What do you mean this? I send them the link and I just be like, there you go. You know, there's the best answer I could give you without it escalating to a level it doesn't need to.
Absolutely. Candy, you're with us.
Yes, I am. I'm always here. I'm your virtual director in the background. But I want to bring up the trailer. Thank you. Little connectivity issue earlier. But while I'm here and while it looks like it's all good, I want to run this trailer. Thank you, Carlton, so much for sending this so that we could all really see this in a short 1 minute. It's so impactful. Everyone here, take a look.
Into our newsroom, a grand jury has just issued an indictment in the Sandra Bland case. Bland was stopped by police while driving in Texas last year and was found hanging in her jail cell.
Right there.
It has happened again. Yet another white police officer said to have killed an unarmed Black man.
Right there.
And the shooting death of an unarmed Black man.
Right there.
Enter the black hole.
Mm.
I think Candy lost connection.
Yep.
It was getting
There
good.
we go.
Hey, getting towards the end too.
It was. We didn't get a chance to finish it, Candy. It cut off like maybe like toward a little bit toward the end. It was getting good.
Yeah, we lost her. We lost her. You know, just you falling into that black hole, you know, it puts for those of us who are creatives, you know, for those of us who think, you know, outside what we know, you know, what we see, the realm of what we see, it makes you wonder how many others, you know, have fallen into, you know, the hands of you know, brutality and injustices around us, and they don't have a name or a face.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought to myself. What about those, you know, that actually, you know, went silent? You know, friends and family may not know where they, you know, what happened to them. They're in need of answers. And even with, you know, I was thinking, you know, Sandra Bland, when she went into that precinct and never left, you know, what's the real story? What really happened? I think we have Candy back, but there's so many different things that take place in that black hole. Candy, are you with us? Oh, I don't see that. You know, so and Jay Anthony, I'm not sure if you had any other questions. I know that we were discussing this prior. So if you have anything that you'd like to share, we definitely want to hear from you.
Yeah, definitely. As you know, I'm a father of a 6-year-old, and how do you see, when you're creating, how do you see future generations? Are you thinking about the future generation, or are you thinking more now? Speak a little bit on how you see your work impacting future generations.
While creating it, it was, of course, now, because I mean, that's what really prompted film. Hopefully, in future generations, they can look at it and say, okay, that happened then and it's not happening now. But if not, it could be something that they can also be educated by, because a lot of our, you know, Black roots in education is not in the school systems. You know, they don't teach a lot about us. So hopefully they can also educate them as well about the people who lost their lives and just our Black history as a whole.
Mm, that's true. That's true.
And just to piggyback off that, one thing I love is the power of technology and the fact that it is out there. Once it hits the internet, it's out there. So at any point in time, when Carlton and I are like, when we're all in heaven, it's like he's leaving that. Like we get to leave this as a legacy for our kids' kids, you know, and at one point in time, this is a stamp in history that people could really see. You can't deny the names. You can't deny it. And toward the end, every time I watch it, I start to cry when I see all the names, because I'm like, we did this for you.
Yeah.
We did this for you. And I thank God. I'm just like, God, thank you so much.
Yeah. And I will also say, during creating it, it was times where I wanted to just stop. You know, I was tired. I have a newborn, with the actual job as well in Atlanta, besides my other filmmaking. So, you know, during the whole process, I can feel God just continually, you know, to push me, persevere. I actually looked at a sermon. It was like days before I finished. And just so happened, it was the preacher was saying, you know, God is giving you a task, you know, I need you to persevere through it. And that prompted me to give me motivation to actually just, you know, go through it, finish it up, and just keep on going.
That is so beautiful.
Tell them how long it took, Carlton, because I don't know if anyone like really caught it. He has a 9 to 5, like he has a 9 to 5 and a newborn baby. So on top of us shooting and everything, he had to edit the entire thing. How long did it take, Carlton?
It took about a month and a half to actually finish the film. You know, like Cedrick said, my newborn, tending to her, my wife, my 9 to 5 job as a producer as well inside Atlanta, also doing other projects for work too. So It was a struggle going through it. I lost a few pounds. You know, I couldn't sleep or eat sometimes for all the ideas that was constantly going through my head to try to make it better. I didn't want to miss anything, so I really wanted to really give a good message through the process.
Well, we can definitely say, if the Lord was, standing right here, he will pat you and say, well done, thy good and faithful servant. Well done. Well done. You know, it's funny that you say that because God gives us gifts. We have to use them, and it's tiring. Sometimes it's overwhelming, and it's like, was that really God? Was that really here? But did I really hear from you? Or is that just me wanting to, do something? But we will always know what the will of God is because it goes against our flesh. It goes against everything we want to do. We just want to sleep, live our lives, and that's it. But whenever it gets challenging, whenever we have to, lose sleep, whenever we have to, figure out what we're going to do, that's when we know that, hey, this is something this is something that he has, put in our bellies, and it is real, and now it has to give birth. It has to give birth. Recently, I was reading my devotional, and one thing that I love about the Word of God is that it's direct. And I was reading, in Joshua verse 9, when he told them time and time again, don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. But then there's a verse, I believe is 1:9, where he says, have I not commanded you? Like, I done told you already, do this.
Yeah.
I told you, basically, right? If it was God today, like, I done told you, I got you. Just
Right.
get it done. Get it done. Have I not commanded you, to be strong and of good courage, that I will be with you. And you did it. And I would encourage anyone, that has a dream, that has something that won't go away. If you can't sleep at night, then definitely, I promise you, that is the tugging and the urge of God, gifts that are instilled within you. And one day you'll be asked, what have you done with the gifts and talents that I put in you?
Right.
What have you done with that?
You
So
you don't want to go to heaven with the talent.
what have we done? What have you done with those gifts, with those talents? And yes, it's tiring, because we do got to eat, right? We have a 9 to 5, but we don't realize the impact. If you're able to unite someone, if you're able to, introduce someone to the kingdom of heaven, just by that film, right? If you're able to reconcile a family just by that film, you have no idea the impact that you've created just by being faithful and obedient, to what God put in your heart. So not only will you reap that benefit, but if Jesus should not come, then your families and your legacy, will continue, to reap basically from that blessing. Cedrick, you're amazing. We want to hear more. If you have any other future projects, how can we follow you? We want to know more and more. How can, we support the cause? And for anyone watching this, we definitely need you to share this film. We'll put it on the link as well so that you can follow along. But it's just a beautiful project. And I'm honored to have the opportunity, to sit here and chat with you both.
Thank you so much. If anyone wants to keep in contact with us, my Instagram is Cedrick_Cooper. It's literally my name. So if anyone wants to follow me or anything, I'm an actor. Carlton and I are going to be doing active projects going on and off. Carlton can speak more on that aspect of it. But if anyone wants to follow me, all my contact information will just be at my Instagram.
Will do.
Great. If you want to follow me, my Instagram is also @CHeard_7. And as far as projects, we do have something that we're working on, a series, and it will be a faith-based series, but more in a Twilight Zone type of feel to it, but also something that will also teach and also help people. Hopefully, that's our hope for it. So just tune in between the next few months, and it should be out there soon.
We can't wait. We're excited and expecting. Candy, I'm not sure if you're able to come back on, but if not, we're gonna have J. Anthony Cruz. Thank you, both gentlemen for your obedience. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure meeting you. I will be linking up with you on IG. Definitely would love to stay in touch, and we'll have J. Anthony Cruz take us home with this. Thank you all for viewing.
Thank you so much.
Happy Soul Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you.